Mandalorian Season 3 has kicked off. We have Episode 1 in the books. We're going to be talking about some things that you may have missed and maybe some predictions here at the end. So we're going to dive right in with the beginning of this episode where it shows the Children of the Watch. Apparently, they have grown because the last time that we saw them was during the Book of Boba Fett, where it was down to just the Armorer and Paz Vizsla. And in the beginning of the episode, you see around 40 Mandalorians during a ceremony. And in that ceremony, we also see a banner for Clan Vizsla as well.
And the kid in the ceremony who's pledging himself to the way of the Mandalore is Wesley Kimmel, by the way, who is the nephew of a well-known person who you might know, Jimmy Kimmel. But it's not the first time he's been there. He also played a sand person, a little kid sand person in Book of Boba Fett. Yeah,
Robert Rodriguez originally cast him as a Tusken Raider. So one of the important pieces that is a part of this episode is the shard that Din Djarin shows the Armorer. And this essentially canonizes part of the extended universe. There's a Legends concept that was known as glassing, where the Empire would bombard a planet with a turbo laser, and it would essentially make that planet uninhabitable as the surface would crystallize. And this is kind of what led to where like people weren't going back to Mandalore because they were assuming that the environment they wouldn't be able to survive there. But now Din's like, I'm going.
And Reddit user General Anubis translated the text. He took the time to do this from the tablet, and it translates to part of the Bible, specifically Exodus. What is that? Book 10, chapter 5 through 6 in the King James version. The verse is all about the Jewish enslavement by the Egyptians and how they are eventually led to paradise by Moses.
So I am kind of assuming that the reason that they would choose something like this is because you're looking at a guy like Din Djarin, who is hopefully going to lead the Mandalorian people back to their previous glory. Now, as he's flying through space, hyperspace, there's giant creatures that are shown kind of on the outskirts of where they're at in hyperspace. These are known as purggil. They're the creatures, they can naturally jump to hyperspace on their own, and they've played a major role in other areas of Star Wars, including Star Wars Rebels and Admiral Thrawn. That is somebody who I would love to see come back in a live-action version. And the creatures, the purggil, they're the ones that sort of helped with the hyperspace technology. It's not really known kind of how hyperspace works, but if you've watched Rebels at all, you've seen these creatures before and you've seen them jump to hyperspace before.
And it's been explored in books and novels. The first High Republic book that came out a couple years ago kind of showed hyperspace as kind of its own mysterious realm, and actually one of the things about it was that they were trying to map out all the tunnels for hyperspace. So it was it's kind of something that's it's definitely like in its own realm or in its own kind of world, I guess. But you also see in that scene that Grogu is fascinated and a little bit scared of the purggil. And that might be maybe something maybe that he does force things with
down the way.
Maybe.
And he goes and then he actually goes and curls up in Din Djarin's lap.
So cute.
Gina Carano's Cara Dune. She was written out of the show because of some social media issues a couple years ago, but Grief Karga briefly mentions her whereabouts, why she's not there on Navarro. And that's because she has been recruited by this New Republic's Special Forces, because at one point, Grief Karga's asking Din to be, hey, why don't you come be law enforcement here? That'd be great. You and the kid, you can hang out. I'll give you a plot of land. It'll be fantastic. And Din Djarin asks him, why don't you go with Cara Dune? And that's when he explains that she's gone. She's a part of these special forces.
She got recruited.
She's gone, man.
She gone. And in that same conversation also, we found out that Moff Gideon has been taken to a New Republic war tribunal. So he's on trial.
Also known as the Gus Fring of the galaxy far, far away. Now, apparently Babu Frick from The Rise of Skywalker, his whole species is all about fixing droids, man. Because in this episode, See, I watched the damn episode and I still have problems pronouncing these damn things. Anzellans.
Anzellans. Anzellans.
So anyway, they're apparently really good at fixing droids, as Grief Karga explains to Din Djarin to help rebuild IG-11. Now, if you remember from season 1, he was, it was voiced by, I'm blanking on his damn name, Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
He ends up blowing up on those lava flows, but so they have a statue to him in the middle of town, and it's actual parts from him. So they try to build him back. They turn him back on, and he reverts back to his, I got to kill Grogu, got to kill Grogu, got to kill Grogu. It was one of the weirdest scenes I think I've seen, where he's like crawling around, and then this other droid like drops a statue bust on his head. But then the whole point is going to be like, oh, we need this one part. So if you can go find this one part, then maybe we can bring him back, because they still haven't explained why Din Djarin doesn't trust droids, have they?
No.
Because that was in the very first episode, when the first mission that he is on, and one of the speeders comes up, the transports, and he's like, no droids. And they've never quite really explained that. But Land, you had an interesting point about this aspect with these Anzellans. Yeah.
Well, my thing is that Apollo Creed keeps on talking about how Navarro has the best, people to repair droids and such. Why didn't they do that for IG-11 to begin with?
Yeah. Why did they make him a statue? Why didn't they?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't seem
more.
It didn't seem to take a whole ton of effort for Din Djarin to turn him back on. It was like he took a couple of wires and he's like, and then he powers back up.
He hotwired him.
Yeah.
He hotwired him like an 86 Ford Escort. It was kind of weird.
And then we see Bo-Katan at the end, right?
Yes. Yeah. So Mando finds Bo-Katan, and she's just chilling in her throne with nobody there.
Sitting all chill, by the way.
Yeah, she's sitting all chill. She's just like relaxing. And she has nobody to follow her because she has no saber that is dark. So everybody left her. And she said that they're all mercenaries at this point. And some interesting things. I don't know if this was maybe pre all this, or maybe somebody painted this recently, but like the sculptures and paintings on the back wall, all Mandalorians fighting each other. But I have a feeling that it's something from the past. But yeah,
there's a whole lot more to the Mandalorians that we still don't know. So as we get to prediction time, I obviously I think we're going to learn more about the Mandalorians. That's going to be obvious, because Din Djarin, he's going to go to Mandalore. Because he's still trying to repent for taking his helmet off. Which, again, this seems so silly, because even Bo-Katan told him, like, hey, like, so your cult, you were weirdos. And you took the whole helmet thing too seriously, and you're one of the reasons that the Mandalorians fell apart. But then he's still dead set on going back and getting... It's just... There's a lot that's just really awkward about this, because you would think like, oh, the Mandalorians are all like one mighty group, and it's like, no, it seems like it's more like and then again, at this point, it's a bunch of different factions who all kind of believe different things, and they do different things. But I think that it's all going to revert back to that one shard that Din Djarin had at the beginning of this episode that he shows the armorer, where, but I think the answer is too easy of him being the one that is going to bring back the Mandalorians and kind of group everybody back together. Again, I'm sticking with the prediction that I already made. It's going to be Grogu. He's going to be the one to get the victory. He's going to be the one with the darksaber, and he's going to be the one to bring everybody together. Now, whether or not he stays in that position, who knows? But you know what? I'm leaning in on this one. What are your predictions?
Well, I changed my mind on who will end up with the darksaber, because at first I said it was just going to be Din Djarin.
Yeah.
But now, after kind of watching things, especially like that beginning part with the ceremony and stuff like that, I think it's going to be Paz Vizsla who gets the darksaber, and he's gonna wave that thing around, get all of Bo-Katan's people, and reunite them as a big old Mandalore army and take over the entire universe.
Well, you can find out if we're right, obviously, by watching The Mandalorian Season 3 on Disney Plus as it drops every Wednesday. No, every Wednesday. I didn't get to watch it on Wednesday because my internet crapped out. So I had to watch it on Thursday. But you can watch that, and then, of course, make sure that you click like, subscribe, click the bell down there, because we're going to be hopefully doing these weekly videos to keep you up to date with the things that you may have missed in The Mandalorian.